I'm your buddy until the end. What's happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? Welcome to a brand new episode of Cosplay Chris, and today it is a movie review for the newly released Child's Play film, the remake of the original Child's Play franchise, starring Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky. Now, before we get into the review, which is spoiler free by the way, I just want to give a massive shout out to my good buddies Mike and Jay over at We Watched a Movie. Keeping with the theme of horror films today, these guys do commentaries on horror films, trailer reactions to horror films, you name it. They also do amazing skits of Dr. Loomis and Michael Myers together as like a buddy-buddy kind of thing. Recently I collaborated with them and did a video on how to fix some of Rob Zombie's films. That is on their channel, so I'll leave the link down below for their channel. These guys do some funny shit. I can totally relate to it, so go check them out. So a massive thank you to Roadshow and Playmaker Digital for inviting my mum and myself to the premiere here in Sydney on Tuesday night. It is now Thursday, 10 AM. The embargo has lifted, so I can finally talk about this film. Now, first things first, we are all going to compare this film to the original film/films, even though in my opinion, Child's Play 1, 2, Bride of Chucky are the best out of the franchise. You just really have to switch off and start fresh with this film because it is a remake, it is a fresh take on the character of Chucky and the world around him. Case in point, we all know that Charles Lee Ray embodies the doll Chucky. In the first Child's Play film, he's about to be killed, so he puts his soul using voodoo into the doll. Whereas in this film, and I'm not going to give any spoilers away, it is not like that at all. It is a completely different story in terms of how Chucky gains consciousness and becomes evil. So the film stars Aubrey Plaza, Mark Hamill, Gabriel Bateman, and Brian Tyree Henry. Now, because I'm really shit at movie reviews, I have to jot down a lot of notes on my phone because I forget to talk about a lot of stuff. Before I get into the nitty-gritty stuff, I thought I was going to hate this film, and I think everyone is the same as well, but I genuinely had a really fun time with this film. It was actually surprisingly very comedy driven as opposed to the horror elements, which I kind of get because Child's Play has always had these hints of dark comedy throughout the entire franchise. So first off, the storyline is very cookie cutter, but you all know what the basic premise of Child's Play is. You know what to expect and what is going to happen, so there's really nothing new to take away from the storyline. The acting was surprisingly amazing. Aubrey Plaza was amazing. Gabriel Bateman, who played Andy, really delivered an amazing performance. He had to hit some really hard emotional beats from the script and translate it onto film, and I think he did an amazing job. And then of course, let's talk about Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky. Now, this was only announced a couple of months ago, so obviously they've done all the practical stuff, all the principal photography. Who's going to do Brad Dourif justice and kind of continue on that legacy of voicing Chucky? Even though Brad Dourif stated he is still voicing Chucky with the upcoming series and other spin-off films. So they brought in Mark Hamill, and Mark Hamill did an amazing job. It was very subtly done. His voice kind of went in levels from this calm, almost childlike quality to just raging, almost alcoholic stepfather kind of voice. And there's no hint of Joker voice whatsoever. He completely changed it and did something new for the voice of Chucky. Now, being the cosplay and prop guy, I need to talk about the design of Chucky. Kevin Yeager and his crew did an amazing job on the first Child's Play. Given the budget, they went above and beyond and pretty much changed the game for animatronics after that. And unfortunately, this design is just very lackluster and almost cheap. I can understand if there were budget constraints, time constraints, studio interference, stuff like that. And I thought the ante would be up because animatronics have come so far. Even on a minimal budget, you can make something look $1 trillion when it comes to animatronics these days. If anything, Kevin Yeager's Chucky seemed like it would be a perfect fitting for now because it was just so ahead of its time and so advanced with the technology and the overall look of the doll. I do, however, have to give a massive shout out to my friend Eric Rivera, who was hired by Orion Pictures to make over 70 Chucky dolls for the promotion of this film, and he makes a dead-on exact replica of the doll from the new film. He also makes amazing replicas of the OG Chucky. I mean, look at this. This is all hand-painted, handmade by Eric and his amazing crew. And I got to hold one of Eric's dolls last night. He's based overseas, but he's obviously shipped them out all around the world for the press tour of this film. And I got to hold one in the Chucky booth last night before we went into the cinema, and it's just a beautiful replica. So props to you, man. You did an amazing job replicating that doll, like almost 100% screen accurate. But I'm not taking away from the fact that Mark Hamill did an amazing voice and brought this animatronic doll up a few notches and more to life. Another thing, this movie is a massive social commentary in terms of technology, how we rely on it, and social media and streaming and the whole cloud bullshit. So the concept of the Buddy doll in the film is that it's essentially like a Google Home or an Alexa, but it's a doll and it follows you around. It can sync things and stream stuff, play music for you. So that's another thing that's also off-putting with the film, I guess, is because there's such a massive jump in technology from 1988 when we had the big cell phones to now where you're hooking Buddy up and he can essentially control your house, the light switches, even flush the toilet. So in other words, for me, keep it simple, stupid. That's the way I see it. Phone's ringing. I don't think that phone has rung in 5 years. Now when it comes to the kills are quite minimal and very tame. Even though there is some gore in this film, they just seem to cut the shot right before a massive blow happens or a stabbing or a limb is lost. It must have something to do with our rating system. I don't know if it's gonna be different in the States or other countries, but it just seemed like it was very tamed down given the special practical effects in this film. They looked amazing from what I saw, but I just would like to have seen more of it, just more brutality. And I gotta give a shout out to the janitor who works in the building that Andy and his mum live in. It looks like Jack Black. It isn't, but I swear to God it's his lost doppelganger. So guys, overall, I was pleasantly surprised with Child's Play. It was fun. It was what a horror movie should be. It just makes you laugh nervously for what's happening on screen and what's unfolding. Look, unfortunately the story is very cookie cutter and nothing special to take away from it, but Mark Hamill did an amazing job as the voice of Chucky as well as the ensemble cast. They all brought their A game and they were having fun with this, and you can tell. My only other gripe is I couldn't buy Aubrey Plaza as Andy's mother. They kind of seem like a brother and sister type duo. And I get it, in the film she does mention, you know, she was sweet 16 when she had Andy, but still there was just no real mother-son dynamic going on. It was just more or less an older sister looking out for her little brother. That's all. So guys, I highly recommend checking out Child's Play. Give it a shot. It's hard not to compare it to the original. I know, trust me, I'm trying not to. I'm trying to disconnect the two and just see this as a fresh take. And I would like to see more of this incarnation of Chucky. Hopefully they will improve the doll and the tech of the doll. You're never gonna top what Kevin Yeager and his crew did back in the day. And so with that being said, I'm gonna be giving Child's Play 3.5 geeks out of 5. So guys, drop a comment below when you have seen Child's Play and let me know what you thought of Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky. So guys, Supernova Sydney is this weekend. I will be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday I will just be casual to get my wristband. Saturday is the Batfleck and Sunday is the full reveal of The Crow. If you're heading there, hope to see you, hope to talk shit, hope to talk shop. With that being said guys, wherever you are in the world, have yourselves a cracker of a day. I hope you're well, hope you're happy, be merry, be silly, and until next time geeks, please always remember, cosplayers do it best.